Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to this very, very important weekly segment. Well, right now we're going to be talking about all the travel updates with Tanvi Goel. So Tanvi, once again, welcome to the show on your 31st episode of this travel updates.
Thank you so much, Umesh. Thank you, everyone. Yes, it's 31st episode and really quite excited to be with you all. We got all the updates, which I'm going to tell you in a minute. Before we go ahead, guys, like to inform you all information we share or discuss in today's episode is general information only. As you know, the rules and regulations changing every time as well. So please keep yourself updated. If you have any questions, you can always contact us. As you know, the individual cases may vary as well. So yeah, make sure you are updated.
Well, of course, as Tanvi has said, the rules and regulations do keep changing, and please keep up to date. And of course, we are going through a turbulent time, so make sure that you got your seat belts fastened. So with that fastening of the seat belt, Tanvi, right at this point in time, I think the top topic that people are probably thinking about, or everyone's thinking about, is who can fly from Australia to India at this point in time.
So Australia to India, mainly Indian citizens on temporary visas can fly. There is no issues with that, and the rules and regulations still the same. And whatever forms need to be filled, everything is same. And Australian citizens and PR unfortunately still can't fly until further notice. So exemptions are still not given. I haven't seen anyone so far, but hopefully it should open in next few weeks or next month. Let's hope for the best. And guys, flight-wise, there are flights couple of weeks pretty much from all the destination, which we're gonna tell you, a bit later as well.
Okay, so still pretty much what we discussed last time. So there's no major changes. So what flight options do we have from Brisbane at this point in time?
So from Brisbane, we have flight every Fridays and Sundays. They are with one stop. If you want to fly different dates, you can with two stop flights. Next available flight is 22nd of May, 28th of May, 4th of June, 11th of June. And we have flight pretty much every Friday for rest of the years as well. So there are plenty of flights. And if you are going to Delhi, you have 4.5 hours halt option. If you're going to other cities like Bombay, Hyderabad, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, all other places, we have 16-17 hours halt option where the lounges and hotels can still be given. So there is no problem with the flights from Brisbane at all.
So, quite a few options there from Brisbane, which is wonderful and good, very good to see. Okay, moving on with this. So let's take a look at Sydney. So, at this point in time, what are the options from Sydney?
So from Sydney, also we have at least one flight a week, and in some cases we have two flights a week as well. Next available is 22nd of May, 27th, 29th of May, and 3rd of June. And after that also we have at least one flight a week from Sydney to any part of India, especially to main cities. So yes, there are plenty of flights from Sydney as well.
So Sydney is good to go with lots of options there under the current circumstances. Well, of course, a place to mention and always have a look out for is Melbourne. So what are the options from Melbourne at this point in time?
So from Melbourne, we have these British flights, Emirates flights, at least two flights a week. That's not a problem. And we have one charter also available. That's on 30th of May. Still, there are a few seats left. If you are still willing to go with the charter, it may be the last charter this time. We might not have any charter because Emirates is doing well this stage. But yes, there are plenty of flights from Melbourne. You can go anytime with one stop, at least two flights a week. Yes.
Okay, so Melbourne seems to be good to go as well, which is amazing. Well, right now, when we also look at, say, if you're looking at the other side of the country, so if we go down to Adelaide, what are the options there?
So from Adelaide, you can fly at least 2 to 3 times a week. But if you want to fly with one stop, there's a flight on 28th of May, 4th of June, 11th of June, 18th of June. So they are pretty much flying on Fridays as well with one stop at this stage.
Okay, so having Adelaide covered, let's go to the other side, Western Australia, and look at Perth. So what are the options from Perth at this point in time?
So Perth, in some weeks we have one flight a week, and some weeks we have two flights a week. So at this stage we have 23rd of May still available, 25th of May, 30th of May, and then 1st of June. So yes, there are plenty of flights from Perth as well at this stage.
Okay, so moving on, I think one of the burning questions that people have, and there are a lot of talks and news, and everyone becomes an expert on social media commenting on this point. The point that I'm making now is any update from India to Australia.
Yes, there are lots of updates, guys. There is a lot happening. You might be, following all the social media and news at this stage, and that's actually a hot topic these days. So let me give you an update on that. So travel ban, as you all know, and we discussed last week as well, that is already lifted on 15th of May. And right now, 25th of June, charter is available to book. That's the only charter available right now. And the fare of that one starts from $36.95. If you want to book that one, you need to pay $600 a deposit, and then remaining you have to pay a bit later. And apart from that, if you remember last time also we discussed that there were 6 charters needs to be rescheduled. So maybe next week we might hear something, especially those charter who are coming from, via Indonesia are scheduled, maybe going to schedule next week or so. So far the expected dates are 28th of May, 31st of May, and 4th of June. So we're expecting those charters. Other than that, you might have seen some passengers have traveled with Qatar Airways to Brisbane, Sydney, other places as well. So some people have landed in for yesterday and 2 days ago. And but if you see the prices, why we have investigated on that particular airlines and that option as well. The fares have skyrocketed like double or triple. To give an idea, right now the fares are like $10,000 per person. Or even if you see in June, I could see even $20,000 fare as well. So it's really crazy, but I won't say it's a reliable option because, because of caps and a lot of other government issues. So we are not recommending really Qatar Airways option at this stage because your money might get stuck. But yes, you can always try other options. I have seen some passengers are coming through Maldives as well, and some of the passengers we spoke said they are quarantined or staying in Maldives for 14 days and trying to take the next flight from there. So we are waiting for their experiences as well once they arrive here, maybe next few days. And we would share with you, in next week that what happened to that. Other than that, the government flights seems there are 6 Qantas flights scheduled in next couple of weeks. So if you have not registered with DFAT yet, you can register. And as we suggested before as well, these all flights are invite only, and passengers are shortlisted based on the vulnerability they have given. So yes, you just can't go and book that. You have to wait for Qantas or government to give you a call. So please make sure you check all those emails once again. And keep up to date that whenever they're releasing flights. And seems there are some flights of Air India as well, 22nd of May, 29th of May, and 5th of June. They are also not easy to book, as you know. But please keep checking Air India flights as well. Then, if you're lucky, you might get those flights. So there are quite a few flights, and as per the discussion with the charter team and all other officials, seems there should be a lot more flights in upcoming weeks and months. In fact, more flights should be there, and the only thing they are waiting for India, cases, if they settle a bit, if there are less cases, and, they might release, restrictions. So, at this stage, there are flights, but mostly on the hold, and we have to keep watching. And if you want to keep your spot, you can for 25th of June, if you have not done already. And also, if you want, you can send off your expression of interest as well. If you have not registered with us, you can send your details, your family details. If you have unaccompanied minor as well, you can send us your details and we can give you a call whenever anything becomes available. Because as I said, we keep watching and work with all the charter partners all around Australia and India both, so we can give you a call. But yeah, at this stage, flights are there, but mostly on hold. And hopefully we'll have more updates next week. We'll see.
Quite a few options there, but of course we know that there are quite a lot of rules and regulations as well. And as you mentioned there, some of the key points that it's by invite only, and then you have to meet all the criteria, even the testing criteria to be able to board the flight as well. So all the precautions and the precautionary measures are there. Well, okay, so, thank you very much for that update. I know that many people are quite anxious and they all would like to know about all that. So thank you very much for that. Well, right now, moving on, what's happening nationally, on the national scene at this stage?
So first of all, Macy, I would like to tell you about a new series which came up, and it's really quite exciting. So South Australia has launched its first YouTube series called Stories of the South. The 6-episode documentary style program will be released monthly and has inspired some of the South Australia's most curious characters, utilizing the state picture sceneries and its backdrop. So I would like to show you all a little glimpse of that one. That's the first episode so far.
These huge cattle stations, these huge ecosystems. The Anna Creek Painter Hills that just blow you away. The texture over it and the colours, they just draw you in. They become incredibly addictive. And the more and more you see of them, the more you want to see of them. You've got William Creek, this unique little town out in the middle of the desert on the largest cattle station in the world that's 200 kilometres from anywhere. And here's this pub sitting out there made of old railway sleepers, galvanised iron, and you come through the front door, there's a soft drink or a beer waiting for you, a good meal. One of the most satisfying things in my job is the sense of openness, the sense of independence, the sense of satisfaction of achieving something, having an outcome, physically working with your hands. But the most important thing, I think, is to show people the best experience you could possibly give them. The outback just grows on you and you want to give that experience to everyone else. You want them to come back. People come out and say, look, we want to do this again. Whether it's for a day or a couple of days, whether you experience the sheer beauty of it, the tranquility at night, I can guarantee you this is a place that they will never ever forget in the rest of their life.
Yeah, wow, what a place. And as they mentioned that you will never forget that place. Oh, amazing experience.
That's really amazing. I am quite excited as well. I think I have to go to South Australia again very soon. And this was the first episode, guys. We'll be sharing with you other episodes as well. And next up is from Brisbane, Australia. So they have deferred most of the short-haul international flying, including to Fiji and Indonesia, until at least December 2021. As after this week's federal budget predicted a slower than anticipated opening Australian borders. So yeah, at this stage, Brisbane, Australia probably won't be having any international flight up till December 2021. And other than that, for New Zealand, they are planning to start on 18th of September. So that will be Sydney and Brisbane to Queenstown. And from Melbourne to Queenstown, they are planning from 7th of December. So except New Zealand, all other flights, all international the flights, they are planning to start December 2021. And after the Virgin Australia announcement, there is an announcement from Qantas as well. So Qantas also deferring its previously planned introduction of international flying. So earlier they said they're going to start on 31st of October, but after this announcement, they also said they might start on 19th of December. So yeah, it's further delaying, but I think it's all for everyone's safety. So let's stay tuned and see what comes up later on. Next up from Whitsunday. So Whitsunday Coast Airport and Jetstar will add 434 more flights a year from July 1st. So new services will include an increase of daily flights return to Melbourne and return flights to Sydney, 6 flights a week, and also more flights from Brisbane and to Brisbane. And if I tell you bit of idea, right now for rest of the year, Whitsunday is pretty much sold out. Especially you might have a flights, but I was checking for accommodation for some couple of passengers, especially for June, July, it was 100% sold out, not even a single room available. Wow. Even till September, hardly anything. And I think there are some spots for November, December. So it's pretty sold out so far. So if you have not booked yet, it is a time for you to book Whitsundays. So these are the main updates for Australia at this stage, Macy.
And wonderful that local travel and the local economy is doing that well. Yes, you are quite right. Even though it might not seem that way, but if you try and book some place, you'll find that they are sold out for two reasons. One is a lot of them might be operating on reduced capacity because of the staff, so that's the only number of people they will take. So they will say that no more rooms are available or things. So you quite rightly said that there. Well, now moving on, that was quite an interesting segment there on the local or national ones. So looking at internationally, so what are the updates? I know we've looked at India, but on a broader scale, looking at international scene, what's happening there?
So New Zealand is really booming us a lot, Macy, these days. Pretty much for every city, we have 1 or 2 flights a week. It's really doing so well, especially to Auckland, Christchurch, Queenstown, from Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Hobart. There are quite a few flights going and, doing so well. So we have not booked yet, guys. They are also selling out very fast, like Umeshi rightly said. There are less availabilities as well because of COVID. They are reducing the number of rooms and number of spaces, and also they are actually in very high demand. So yeah, if you're not booked yet, you can book it. If you need any help, you can call us as well, and we have a short tours available on our website as well. If you want, you can check the live availability and book them instantly. So you just have to go to www.ausindiatravel.com.au, and if you need any help, you can always give me a call. So yes, New Zealand is booming. Next up is from Cook Islands. So Cook Island International Tourism restarted 2 days back on Tuesday with the first 2 quarantine-free flights from New Zealand, ending a record 14 days or 14 months closure of its borders to non-residents. Visitors will be encouraged to use government apps while visiting though, but yes, they have started, which is a really great news. And also we have seen something really nice, which is a UK travel charter. So UK government has launched a new COVID-19 charter for holidaymakers, outlining rights and responsibilities for passengers as restriction ease and they resume travel following the British vaccine rollout. So consumer protection, refund rights and health standards, all these features you can check on the website as well, which is www.gov.uk. But I think it's really amazing news to see that government is also coming forward and, doing the charter, especially for holidaymakers. That's something really new, which I've seen recently, and I thought I should share with you. And I'm sure after UK, there'll be other countries will come forward to, have such kind of facilities for us in future. And next up, guys, from Singapore and Hong Kong, that travel bubble we were talking about. So in the significant, there was with Australia also, we were thinking, it's going to start very soon and it will be the next green line destination after New Zealand opened. But this Asian destination has announced a 30-day, lockdown amid a steep rise in COVID cases. In fact, Singapore recorded 38 new cases of community transmission on Sunday, 18th of which were unlinked. So seems like Australia is not going to open this bubble any soon, so it may take a bit longer. And launch of the travel bubble between Singapore and Hong Kong has been deferred indefinitely as well at this stage. And new dates start to be revised or advised by the both government a bit later. So at this stage, we don't know. First of all, we thought, it's going to start in September, the further date which we had last week. But this time they said it's blocked for now and until further notice. Next up from Qatar Airways. So Qatar Airways is doing, business deals are actually on offer right now. So Qatar Airways launched a business class sale offering flights to destinations such as Dubai, Maldives, New York, and their business class fares around $6,049 return flight. And also they got some more deals to return to Miami and from Sydney. That's $7,059. And these fares are available to book up till 21st of May. That means just till tomorrow. So if you have not booked yet, you have to book it. You should book it now. So 28th and you can travel between 28th of May till 31st of March 2022. So you have quite a few longer period of time, and they are their refund policies and changing policies are quite good as well. So if you want to fly, you can definitely look at their plans. And also Qatar Airways has resumed their flight to Greece, so that's another good news. So flights between Doha and Mykonos is going to resume very soon, and they are planning to fly every Friday, Monday and Saturdays with the 120-seat aircraft. So that's going to start. And also they are planning to start, Qatar is thinking to have a 3 nights package included with their package as well. Definitely have to pay extra for that. But that option is available. And those packages, they are giving inclusive of breakfast and transfers. So that's from Qatar Airways. Next up is from British Airways. So British Airways jumps the queue. That's the tagline they got, which is quite exciting. And I think that this news also quite good. That's what I thought I'll share with you. So British Airways is trialing a new app which allows passengers to virtually queue at the check-in by pre-booking their slot time before arriving at the airports. So the new Qmatic tag, so that's called Qmatic tag, will be tested for 3 months on the selected departures, especially departing from Heathrow Terminal 5, with travelers involved in the trial to be sent notification when it's the time for them to check in and board their flight. So how exciting is that, guys? So it's basically to reduce, contact with other people, and you don't have to really queue and sit in that area. Instead, you get the notification. I think that's really quite exciting and quite nice initiative as well by British Airways. And once again, I'm sure the other airlines will follow once the test and trial is good. Then it will be really great and very convenient for all of us. Next is from Alaska Airlines. So Alaska Airlines is expanding. Since everything is not working that well, but there are airlines who are working round the clock and thinking where to expand, where to really work on the technologies to give us a better experience. So Alaska Airlines is on path to the cruise today, confirming orders of 17 new members 175 regional jets, exercising options to 13 Boeing 737 MAX aircraft, and the newly minted one-word member also announced non-stop flight to Blaze City in Central America from the US West Coast. So there is really a lot of exciting news is also coming at this stage. And next up is from cruises. So how come we leave the cruise? So let's give you a bit of idea about cruise. So P&O Cruises Australia basically has made the decision to replace all its remaining international itineraries scheduled in 2021 with Australian domestic sailing. As you know that the international flights are already blocked this stage up till December 2021. So they are, they are changing their international itineraries to Australian domestic itineraries. The cruise line said continued uncertainty has prompted the move, with affected travelers have the option of remaining booked on their new local cruise or receiving a full refund. So if you want, you can change your itinerary to domestic one, or you can apply for the full refund without any penalty. And if the future cruise credit was used, the full value will be reapplied for the future use. So it's up to you if you want to keep the credit with them, you want to take the full refund back, or you want to use for the domestic itinerary. So that's, I think, a quite exciting news from P&O Cruise as well. And yeah, maybe it's a time for you to just enjoy the domestic cruises instead of international, and hopefully the international will come next year. So yeah, these are the main updates at this stage, Wednesday.
Well, thank you very much for all that update. That P&O cruise line sounds very, very good. And that deal with the Alaskan Airlines, that sounds very good as well. So that's quite a few options. You are only limited by your imagination. So, if you just think outside the square, there are many, many options available to you as well. Well, of course, if people are planning on traveling at this point in time, what would be your tips for them in this point in time?
Meji, first of all, I'll tell everyone, please don't just get diverted with the news and messages you hear and the stories you hear from people. Just think of your own circumstances, how much money you have, whether you are in the situation to really block it somewhere, because I saw there are so many people, especially, in India, are so desperate to come to Australia, and they are ready to give money, just put in any airlines, and see, trying their luck. But guys, remember, if you give money to an airlines, it's really very unlikely that you get it, instantly. And all the fares are basically starting over $3,000. And sometimes, there are 2-3 people in a family. That means over $10,000 if you go for a normal type of fares. So please do some investigation to check whether those options are really possible and manageable to come, and try to book when it looks really clear or green lane. So just really check all these airlines and options before you book the flights from India to Australia. And please keep checking the state rules and regulations as well. In fact, if you are flying in Australia, statewide, so it's very, very important, because sometimes government is just putting some kind of temporary halt. So that's very important, and try not to go in the area where you think, there can be cases or there were cases in past, and avoid crowd, I would say. That's very, very important at this stage. And those who are coming from India to Australia, guys, remember earlier the COVID test needs to be done 72 hours before departure. But these days, most of the airlines are asking 48 hours before departure. So doing the COVID test, you basically have two options. Either you can go to nearest pathology or call them home and do the COVID test, or you can do those tests at the airport as well. So remember, if you do at airport, they are taking minimum 6 hours to give you a report, and rapid antigen test also you can do at airport, and that also taking a couple of hours sometimes. So just make sure, just plan your journey before you go with the least contact possible, and contact with your contact your agent, whoever booked you in, so they will know that what airlines is suggesting. Because we always have new updates close to the date when you are departing from there. So please always check that. That's very, very important. Those who are flying from Australia to India, you still have to fill the self-declaration form online, and fill the Indian arrival form when you depart, and you need a physical copy of COVID test as well. Exactly the same. If you haven't seen any of the dates, you have to fly from Australia to India, India to Australia, you can always send us expression of interest. We are, registering everyone, putting our records, so we can contact you whenever there is availability. So you can still give us a call, send us an email to my email, maybe tanvi@ausindiatravel.com.au. You can jump online on our website, which is www.ausindiatravel.com.au. You can send us the request from there. Or you can just write us on our Facebook. I'm always there most of the time to reply you and to be in touch with you. Please don't be stressful, guys. I know it's not easy at this stage, but remember, we are on this together. We are here to give you all the up-to-date information, what's happening all the time. And just don't be desperate and just book anywhere. Just check before you book it. And if you like this particular episode, guys, please share with your family and friends, so they have all these updates as well. This is our 31st episode, and we have 30 more episodes on our channel, so you can check on Australian Indian Radio, AusIndia Travel, Facebook or YouTube, and you can share with your family and friends, and you can see all our reviews as well. If you have traveled with us, let us know about your experience, and if you are traveling with somewhere else, then also please tell us that how was your experience, so we can help other people who are in queue and waiting to come back home. So I hope you all are happy and safe. And once again, I want to tell you, doesn't matter whether you booked with us or not, we are here to help you. We are here to answer any of your questions. You can always message us, and whenever I get chance, I'll give you a call back. So yes, just stay safe and let us know how it goes.
Well, thank you very much once again for that. I think the key points you made today, one of the ones was don't just be too misguided by everything that goes on social media and all the negative comments and everything that's happening. Find out some true facts from credible sources. Call Tanvi and find out for yourself rather than just jumping to conclusions. So, and number two is, of course, being prepared. If you're traveling, make sure that those tests and things are done in a timely manner. That is very, very important as well. And of course, always checking updates to make sure that, rules and regulations haven't changed. Maybe there's some different cases that have happened somewhere, and all of a sudden, even though you might have booked your ticket, something might happen all of a sudden and you can't go. So, it's always good to be, on the ball, as they say, to check and it doesn't cost too much to double check especially traveling at this point in time. So once again, Tanvi, thank you so much for this update and for the 31st episode. And as Tanvi mentioned, that all the previous episodes are there either on YouTube or Facebook channels, and you can always go back and watch them. So once again, thank you so much for being with us and watching this 31st episode of Travel Updates with Tanvi Goel of AusIndia Travels.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. Stay safe and happy. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.